Hey everybody, I'm Karina Mustafa. I'm back with Sarah Pereira for another special episode of Game, Set, Bet. We have a lot to get into today. We're almost at the end of the tournament, which is very exciting. The matches have been unbelievable the last couple of nights. We'll start by discussing the women's semifinals, which took place very, very early this morning. As I was telling Sarah off the pod, I woke up at 4 a.m. to watch Barty and Keys, which was a mistake maybe because I was very tired after. But Barty, she went by really easily. She defeated Keys 6-1, 6-3. And, I had made my video the day before saying that Keys was going to take a set off of her and make her work for it. But that just wasn't the case. I mean, does this solidify your confidence that Barty's going to take the whole slam?
Yeah, I honestly think so. I think from the first round, just the way she was playing, I was just telling you this off camera, but she really does seem actually almost robotic. Everything she's doing is so calculated. And yeah, she's winning these sets as if it's a walk in the park for her. 6-1, 6-3, she barely gave anything to Keys. And I think she's just shown this kind of perseverance that she's as I said prior to this too, she's playing at home, she's playing in front of her fans. This is her domain, and she's really proving it to all of us.
Yeah, for sure. And, the biggest part about Barty and her game is that backhand slice, which a lot of players can't really seem to figure out. I remember seeing a tweet where someone was like, if you are practicing the day before you play Barty how to play against a backhand slice, then it is too late for you, my friend. And I was like, you know what? That's right, because that's really where she kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, but she just kind of, you don't know how to play against that if you're not already practicing. And it's one of the things that makes her game so unique. And it's one of the reasons why she is number one in the world right now. And she's playing really excellent tennis. So she is playing against Collins, who defeated Swiatek also easily, 6-4, 6-1. I bet against her, and I was proven very, very wrong. I was surprised to see this result. I thought that Iga was playing fantastic tennis throughout this entire tournament. She was also very used to playing from behind. She had lost the last two matches. She had lost the first set and then come back to win in three. And so I was a little bit surprised that she went down, that she dropped 12 games in a row, and the Collins only dropped 5. What were your thoughts on this? What can we expect from Collins in the final?
Well, I think for her, just in general, this is such a milestone. This is great for her. And regardless, she will go up in the WTA rankings. This is huge because I think right now she sits 27th. She's going to climb way up there. And regardless, I don't think she's going to beat Barty, but I do think that this is just a step in the right direction from her. Taking out a player, like you said, like Swiatek, she's amazing. She's amazing. So that alone is such an achievement. And I just think this is kind of maybe a little start for her to kick off her tennis year this year. It's really, I'm truly surprised she got this far, but I think it's great. And also just I don't know, it's interesting to see an American after, so long. We keep, hearing about all these players like Coco and whomever, but it's interesting to see an American after, since basically the Serena days. So I don't know. I think it's interesting, and I'm happy for her, but I think Barty's gonna do what Barty does.
Yeah, with this win, actually, they said that Collins will definitely be in the top 10 after the tournament, so that ranking can go even higher than that if she somehow decides to defeat Barty in the final and surprise us all again. But yeah, you're right. I think the success of American tennis has gone a little bit under the radar since the Serena Williams era, the Venus Williams era. I know a lot of people were really worried, but just last year, Jennifer Brady was in the final against Osaka, another American woman. And I think it kind of goes under the radar because there's not a lot of success on the men's side in terms of American tennis, but there are some really strong women who are, going to carry that kind of legacy. Obviously, no one's going to be able to live up to the Serena Williams, the Venus Williams in tennis, but they're coming pretty close, and it is really nice to watch them. Even Amanda Anisimova, she had a fantastic tournament. I mean, she defeated Naomi Osaka. So American tennis and Canadian tennis, as we've talked about before, is in very good hands. I'm very happy with this generation that's kind of upcoming in there. Although, I will say I'm going to pick against Collins again.
Yeah.
Gonna go with Barty. I really hope she doesn't prove me wrong like she has the last couple of rounds, but I'm anticipating this will be a really, really good final. Maybe she'll be able to take a set off of Barty. I'm gonna say she will.
I mean, it'll make for a great match if she does, right? We love to see a little bit of a comeback as one does, but I don't even know if she will. Like, there's something just about Barty this tournament that is just unbelievable. Like I said, just so calculated. So I'd love to see it, but I do think like Barty's gonna take the set home, and I don't really see much else happening.
Yeah, she's super locked in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's move on to the men's side. They're still in the semifinals, so we're still down to the final four for the men's side. First up is Berrettini and Nadal. Very late match tonight. We both will be staying up for it or attempting to. And obviously Nadal is favored. Sarah, you said that you thought this might be the best match of the tournament. So what?
Yeah, I forgot to wear my Spain jersey. I was gonna wear it for this, but I completely forgot. But anyways, I'm a diehard Rafa fan, so I love to watch him play. Especially in his later years, he hasn't been as consistent, but this is the first time in a few years where he's really locked in, and he's having such a good tournament. Even after falling like we saw to Shapovalov, like it doesn't matter, like he's still coming back, and I just love to watch him play, and I'm so excited we still have, it looks like, a few more years of him. But the thing is with Berrettini, I don't know if you watched the game against Monfils, but I caught the last two sets because it was early in the morning here, and it was incredible. Like, I think his kind of attitude really matches Rafa's because he's really fiery, like you don't know what to expect from him. He's super athletic. Like, the way he moves up and down the court, it's incredible. And I just think they're very similar and kind of well matched. And that's why I think it's just going to be so exciting, because Rafa's really, like, it's almost like he's looking like a little bit in the mirror as like a younger. I see so many similarities between them. So I really think like it's just going to be an exciting match. But I'm going to take my boy Rafa.
I love that. And now that I think about it, you're right in terms of their similarities in their personality. And I feel like that's gonna maybe we'll get another 5-setter. I don't know how tired Rafa is, but I would love a 5-setter between these two. I think that would be absolutely fantastic, and maybe give us a chance to catch more of the matches.
Well, they're both coming off crazy like last games, so I think like the tiredness. I mean, Rafa has the age, so that'll play into it. But they're both coming off like extremely long matches, so I'm happy at least that's also somewhat even too. Just because sometimes you see these players, they come in 3 easy sets into the semis. The other semifinalists had to play like 5, went on for 4 hours. So I'm happy to see that, but it should be really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of long matches, Medvedev is in the semifinal after defeating Felix Auger-Aliassime in what was probably, in my opinion, the best match of the tournament. It was absolutely insane. I'm not upset with the loss, like as I was saying off camera. Him and both Shapovalov, I mean, they went toe-to-toe against two of the best in the world. It's incredible, really. And I don't see myself favoring Tsitsipas in any way whatsoever, especially because I do think Medvedev is the best hardcourt player in the world right now, at least on the men's side. So I think this one might go a little quicker, but then again, Tsitsipas has a way of kind of quietly getting into those further rounds. Like, he's in the semifinals, but it feels like you haven't really heard too much about him, unless you've been like watching him. What are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to see Tsitsipas going past Medvedev because, like you said, I mean, besides Djokovic, but I think, Medvedev, he is unbelievable on hard surface, and he's such a technical player. Like, I feel like when he plays, he's just so focused. You don't really, I don't know, he's not as, I guess, flamboyant maybe as like you would see in Rafa, Berrettini. Even Tsitsipas is a little bit, kinder, I want to say. But yeah, I do see him winning this game a lot more comfortably than the previous semifinal we just spoke about. But I don't know what it is about Tsitsipas, but he's such a like lovable guy that I'm almost just like, I just want you to do well. Nothing to do with this tennis, but I, for some reason, just have this like, I don't know, compassion that I'm like, oh, I just want you to do well. And it's so bizarre. I really have not figured out why I feel like this, but I do think we will be seeing Rafa and Medvedev in the final, and I think that's gonna like that would be, in my opinion, the people that deserve to be there too, based on this tournament.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Tsitsipas, if you follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
But he schedules his tweets and he posts the most random, like motivational quotes, and like some are not even motivational, they're just odd. And like there was one where it got released when he was on the court, like when he was actually playing, and then everyone was like, are you scheduling your tweets? What is happening? It was like, this is the most Mondays of Mondays ever, or something like that. It's like, this is so odd, but you do you, man. I mean,
Yeah, no, he is an oddball, but I do think he's just like a nice person. I don't know why, like he just comes off like that. So I always feel for him, but I don't think he will be winning this game.
Yeah, they definitely, their games are kind of nice. And, you know, when we were talking about Medvedev earlier, I think one of my favorite parts about his game is how he adapts while he's playing against his opponent. I think that's one of his biggest weapons to his game, is he's able to kind of play with them and discover, you know, what is working for him, what isn't working for him, which was, you know, a major reason why he was able to get past Felix. You know, Felix kind of hit a wall a little bit late there, and he was able to kind of take advantage of that and move on. And I think, you know, like you said, like Nadal and Medvedev are the ones who deserve to be in the final. I think if the Canadians had beaten them, then the Canadians would be the ones that deserve to be in the final. But yeah, they're really hardworking, all of them, and I enjoy watching them play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, yeah, give credit to where credit's due. Like the Canadians, like these two guys have really done so amazing this tournament, and I am expecting a lot more from them. And I think we spoke about this last time, but Canadian tennis players haven't really been consistent at all. You know, we see a player come up 2-3 years, all of a sudden they fall off. But these two guys, it kind of seems like they're going to be the two to like stay level. And I'm really happy to see it, because it's so like, as a Canadian, it's so frustrating, you know, seeing players like Bianca or Raonic and just being like, all right, finally, at least we're there and competing. And then something like injuries, or they're just not as, you know, consistent. And it's so frustrating. But these two guys, I have very high hopes for them. And I think they're going to do really well.
Yeah, me too. Like I always saw their potential, but I was always kind of like, oh God, like I really hope they don't, you know, hit a wall with injuries, or, you know, they just, you know, like you mentioned, like there's that lack of consistency. And so I'm really happy. I'm like, it's a very apprehensive, like I'm very careful about it. But I am really excited for the future of Canadian tennis. Look at us. We just went off the rails about Canadian tennis. They're not even in it anymore. But just to kind of wrap it up, we both chose Barty. We think she'll win, although I'm still putting a disclaimer that I am saying Collins will take a set from her, because I don't want to bet against her 3 times in a row this much. I'm playing it safe this time. And I think we both went with Nadal. We both went with Medvedev, but I anticipate both matches will be really, really cool to watch. Any final thoughts on any of these guys?
No, I'll be messaging you at midnight when Rafa's, you know, doing what Rafa does.
Exactly. Make sure you are following us on Twitter. My handle is @QueenMMM, as you can see here, or if you're listening to the podcast feed. Sarah's handle is also here at Sarah Pereira. Make sure you're following the parlay, because we're having some really great content, really great team. Super excited for the rest of the year and for everything to pan out. And this was another special edition of Game Set Bet. Thanks for joining us.